Welcome to Outrageous Fortunes. I'm T, the Tea Monster, or Twitch Dad.
And I'm Spence, or Resonant Moon.
And this is a show that we record live on Twitch and YouTube, where I, the Tea Monster, am learning the ways of tarot with guidance from Spence, a 20-year veteran tarot reader.
During our time together, we turn the cards, read the definitions, and see what patterns reveal themselves, and what might even go... I can talk, friends. I'm going to redo my section. During our time together, we turn the cards, read the definitions, and see what patterns reveal themselves. And we might even go down a tangent or two along the way.
So grab your deck, an adult beverage of your choice,
and take a deep breath, and let's turn our attention to the cards.
Okay.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough.
Pro podcasters here,
awake.
Everybody. And the best part of all,
I'm awake. I know what I'm doing.
The best part of all, the way Spence edits this, they may leave this part in, they may not. But I just say, let's fly by the seat of our pants and see what happens, because that's the beauty of podcasting,
I still have
right?
to download the first 2 episodes or the first 3 episodes. So I may need you to upload that for me or something.
I should have backups. Just might have to search a bit on YouTube's, but yeah, I should have some backups. I also have some tangents that I wrote down, which should be fun.
Oh, lovely. I never come prepared with tangents.
Yeah. But you actually had something going on. You had something going on this past weekend. Tell me about it real quick before we get into my lesson.
Yeah. So this past weekend, I was a vendor at the Roanoke Valley Holistic Expo. It is a big expo. We had, I think, 91 vendors.
Whoa. Time out. Back that booty up. 90 plus 1?
91.
Wow.
90 plus 1.
Wow. That's a lot of vendors.
These were people who did all holistic medicine, who had raw plants, and people who had ethically sourced crystals. There were artists, and like myself, there were about a dozen divination type practitioners, or energetic readers. And some of them I have been becoming friends with because we go to a lot of the same events, and our methods are very different. Our modalities are very different. But we all teach each other something as we work together. We're never set up next to each other. The organizers kind of split us up along the 3 different corridors of vendors. So that was pretty cool. I was set up between a Reiki healer who had like her students, and her students were getting their credits for becoming Reiki masters, and a guy who was selling Tibetan singing bowls.
Ooh, interesting.
So that was fun.
And you told me you did like 16 readings in a span of 8 hours.
16 readings in a span of 8 hours, but I will say the first 2 hours I didn't have any readings. I was just selling some of my trinkets and stuff.
Right.
So that 16 hours, that 16 readings actually happened in a shorter time period. So my hands were so raw after.
I bet. I can't imagine that. That must have just been compared to what happened yesterday on our stream. Our being the Mana Buds, when we were playing Magic the Gathering, and it was down to me and Steve, and it was like 4. Steve had 4. I had 4 mana points. Steve had 1 point, and it was just round after round after round. I was exhausted, and I can't. But tarot readings are a different level of card play altogether, and I'm amazed that you're even walking after that. That's a lot of readings.
I was very grateful that I brought my cane with me, because after I got my booth set up, my knees started turning to jelly, and I was like, okay, so that's what this is going to be like.
Mm.
But I did bring my cane with me because I'm super smart. Um, and the volunteers were exceptionally helpful. Once I had packed up my booth and I put things in my cart, they pulled my cart for me to my car and helped me load up my car. Thankfully, when I'm just doing tarot readings and I'm not doing my full tarot readings plus all the crocheted stuff that I do, that's like 5 bins, whereas just doing this, it's like 2 bins and a tote bag.
Mm.
Um, so not bad, not bad. But yeah, it was a great time. There was lovely energy. I met a lot of new people, and I met some places that are opening up in Roanoke that might be looking for either the trinkets that I make, or for me coming in and doing either a workshop like this one to teach tarot to
Oh,
people,
okay. Okay.
or to do readings. But I think the workshop would also be very um, uh, would be an enlightening experience.
If you need a teaching assistant, I'm your Huckleberry. All right. If you need a teaching
Thank
assistant,
you.
I'm the Huckleberry. All right. So shall we begin today's lesson with my daily read, or our daily read? Because usually you keep your daily read off with my daily read, then we do our daily reads together. So I didn't know if you wanted to
Yeah.
do that. Okay. All right. So I've already shuffled my deck. My chat can attest, both on Twitch and YouTube. They can attest to that. They watched me shuffle the deck, and
I mean, I did too. I was just driving, so.
oh yeah, that's true. You were there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my. This is what is called the daily pull. One card, and you do this every day, or at least you try to, and then you just sort of interpret whatever that card is specifically telling you on that specific day. I could have swore I took a picture of the star when I drew it, because I just thought, oh, that's the coolest card I've seen so far. I didn't want to say that out loud, so not to tick off anybody on this deck, because man, this deck listens to me in a weird way. This deck is really listening to me, and it's a little intimidating. So I'm flipping it over, and it is upside down. Ooh, justice reversed. That is major arcana, everyone, and I don't think I've drawn justice before. I've seen it before, but I've never drawn it before. Okay. So because it's reversed, I'm going to read the whole thing. Or I'm sorry, I'm just going to read just the reversed definition that's in my guidebook. One of the goals of the tutorial chat is that eventually I will be able to understand the cards without the need of the guidebook. Guidebooks are great to have, don't get me wrong, and they're fantastic, provided they are at least. Well, that's one of the questions I'm going to be having today in the after lesson tangent that we talk about. So justice. Let's go on ahead and let's start this off. Justice upright means fairness, truth, accountability. Reversed, it means corruption, dishonesty, retribution. The element is air, and the astrology is Libra. Now here we go. The white rabbit, ever punctual and precise, stands beneath the scales of justice, carefully weighing right from wrong. Reverse, the scales tip dangerously, and the white rabbit. The white rabbit. The white
They're both rodents.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I know. The white rabbit's steady hand falters. Corruption and dishonesty creep in, casting shadows over what once was clear. Beware of deceit in your midst, for the universe has its own peculiar way of restoring balance, no matter how twisted the path may seem.
And then for the Crow Tarot, if justice is reversed, it may indicate that there is a person who hasn't been completely honest. If you look deep inside, that person may even be yourself. It may be a good time to examine your personal truths.
Well, okay. Now this time I am going to take my picture to make sure that I get this, but that's all I can say right now. I'm not sure what to make of that, because I'm trying to think if I'm being dishonest with myself, or if I'm being dishonest with God forbid I would be dishonest to Pip. See, if I do anything even slightly dishonest regarding Pip, I won't have just Pip to deal with. I will have Pip and everybody else on the internet to deal with, and I'd rather not have
Pretty
that happen.
much.
Rather not have that happen.
Let me see here.
So
So my card of the day is the Page of Swords.
oh, that's interesting because that's
And
actually
what you're seeing me look at on T's stream, and you know, here's my stream too. I have an app on my phone called the Galaxy Tarot, which is how I started doing professional tarot reading, was using the app on my phone. It was still very accurate. So I was kind of like taken aback at how profound it was. But so this one says, your bright mind is ready to learn today. Chances are you're feeling curious and alert. Make the most of this day by paying close attention. Observe what is happening around you. Listen carefully and ask for clarification if you don't understand something. Take it all in. And one thing I do pride myself on is that if I don't understand something, I have learned to not internalize that not knowing, but instead, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Instead, you know, embracing a attitude of curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, you know, and being vulnerable, saying, I don't know what that is. Can you please explain it to me? That way, you know, I'm more educated going forward.
well,
I may not always
that's how we learn
remember,
new
but
things too. I mean, that's how
yeah,
that's how we found ourselves in this particular situation. You know, you and me,
it's
and this.
true.
I'm still trying. I'm still kind of see when I got the star. That was crystal clear to me. This is the first time. So I guess this is a good question for. I should actually leave this out until we do the big read. Until we do the big read. So when you get a daily card like this, a daily read, and and you don't know how does it apply, I mean, part of me is like, well, I don't necessarily want to sit back and wait for something to happen. It's more like, okay, well then how do I, for the lack of a better term, how do I deal with this sort of thing?
So, especially where it's something that's stating, "Hey, look out for liars,
Yeah.
expect a sudden change, etc." Um, you're really just kind of like, "Okay, universe, I've got my eyes open, but I'm still going to get on with my day."
Right.
And the reason being is that you can't stop living based on something that may or may not show up. Also, I will ask chat to tone down the redeems, just because we are recording right now. So like in the instance of justice, it's probably just saying, hey, keep your eyes open. You know, not everybody is going to be as forthright as you are.
So
That's where I take it.
but you actually bring up something I think is very important.
Okay.
And if this is me getting too deep in the weeds, you know, I mean, I'm going to defer to your judgment and your call on this sort of thing. But there are people that do really focus on the cards, and they will not make a choice. I mean, do you think that is prevalent in studying tarot, where people are like, I got to check the cards before I make a major decision. I've got to check the cards. I'm finding that this deck, as you and I have mentioned quite often, this deck has got a. I think I finally understand when in D&D you atone with an object. I understand that now way better after working with this deck, because I feel like this deck knows me better than I know myself. And
yeah,
because just yesterday.
So,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Please continue.
I was going to say, just yesterday, the discussion that we had based around the reading that I had last week with you, that I was like, oh, that's why I keep getting the Six of Swords so freaking often.
Mm-hmm.
I had that discussion again yesterday with the Mana Buds, and it was about TwitchCon versus MagicCon. And I'm finding out that the people that I really want to see at TwitchCon, it sounds like they're all making plans to be at MagicCon instead, because travel's easier. It's just easier to get to. And now Steve and I are talking about it. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, Six of Swords. I heard you last week. I heard you last week with Mama Moon. Now this. Okay, fine, what have you. And I just wonder though, how many do you think it's prevalent that people put too much stress or what's the word I'm looking for? Do you think people put too much emphasis on what the cards are saying to them?
It is a slippery slope for sure.
Okay.
Like any other vice, and I'm not saying that tarot is a vice. I'm not.
No.
But there are people who can be addicted to giving up choice.
Oh wow. Ooh.
And
That's
so
heavy.
if you are okay. You saying that, I am realizing that I'm doing a little bit of channeling right now. And I say that because
Sorry?
one, I've started to feel pressure here on my neck.
Oh, okay.
And two, I feel a heaviness in my jaw. So whenever I feel that, I know that something else is
Trying to get a point across?
helping me with my words.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm not like our friend Jada, who can do a full on channeling and like Jada checks out and whoever else is there is in the driver's seat.
A sight to see.
I can't allow myself to do that. But
yeah,
anyway,
that's fine.
that's side tangent. But so
welcome to our podcast,
giving
everybody.
Up choice, giving up choice is a practice that can be addictive. And especially if people are, and I don't want to psychoanalyze anybody, but a lot of the times what I see when people come back to me over and over again for a specific thing, they have some sort of lack of confidence in their own subconscious or their own messages that they are receiving, and they need quote unquote something else to either affirm their belief or for them to fight against.
Right.
So I've had a couple of people who continuously show up in one of the programs that I read through, and they ask the same question over and over and over again. And unfortunately, what happens, especially if they haven't done any changes, is that they get a very similar reading. So it's kind of that wisdom of, if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different outcome, that might be a sign of insanity.
Yeah.
So you're I'm figuring out the right words.
Yeah, take a moment.
Your subconscious knows what it needs to know. It's whether your active conscious, your waking brain will accept that.
It's basically looking for, and this is where wow, this is wild, because I just had this conversation. Okay. I had this conversation with my chat earlier. And part of the reason that brought me to sitting with Spence and talking about this is I'm a paranormal investigator, and a lot of times tarot has been mentioned, and it runs in the same circles with the people that I meet in this field, and me being Southern born Christian and all that, tarot was never part of the procedure, right? And now I'm finding myself in here, and I'm like, I just want to get a better understanding of it. And of course, it's like this spiritual artichoke. The more I peel back, the wilder it gets. But
and then you get to the tangy heart of it.
There you go. And which is best in pickled in a nice vinegar, and then you put it on pizza. Forget about it. On that note, we're going to take a break because I've got ads starting in 10 seconds, and I'm going to wait until we get back, and then I'll pick that thought up where I left off. It'll give us all. It'll give Spence a chance to kind of center, and it'll give me a chance to sort of check in with chat. All the good stuff here. Spence, you good?
So I'm gonna do a little stretching.
You go right
and
ahead.
Just kind of work it out.
Take your time.
So this part with my hands pressed together, this is actually a good stretch for your hands if you do a lot with your hands, like you're on your keyboard, you're gaming a lot. For me, both gaming, crocheting, and shuffling cards, I use my hands a lot. So just this very simple stretch. So I'm putting both palms together. Let me show my chat. Both palms together, fingers together, and then I pull down against my sternum as far as I can go before it gets painful. You'll feel a stretch all the way through your pinky and your ring finger, and it's just a matter of holding this position for about 60 seconds, and it helps prevent carpal tunnel.
My big thing is I usually do shoulder rolls.
Shoulder rolls are great too.
Yep. Anybody
you can do that.
Yep. Anybody that does a lot of work at your desk, please make sure to, roll the shoulders out, do what Spence is doing. Another great one to avoid the carpal tunnel is you take your palm, have it facing away from you, put your other hand on your fingertips, and then just pull back. You'll feel it in your wrist. You'll feel it in your forearms. This feels great. You can either do it the way I'm doing it, or you can do it the way Spence is doing it. And then the next thing you do is you pick up a cat. Yes. You pick up a cat. And you take the cat, you stretch the cat over one shoulder, and then you belly rub. And then you belly rub. Oh, get in my belly.
Poor Dorito.
Mwah. Love you, Dorito. Okay. Got to do this with the other hand now.
I'm looking at Lilith, and Lilith is like, "Don't
you even think about it." If trust me, if Evie were in here right now, she'd be going,
"Daddy, don't you dare! Don't you freaking dare! Don't you dare! You're not gonna rub my belly like that. That's some hoodoo voodoo hoopa joop. I am not here for it."
That's Evie, everybody. Okay, and we're back. And we're back from my break. And we're back. Okay. So, all
right.
Going back to what I was talking about, the conversation that I was having about this with chat was that when it comes to oh shoot, now I've lost my train of thought. Might have to edit this out. Sorry, hang on a minute. All right, I want to see if I can get the train of thought back, and then we'll see if we can't, if I cannot close that loop. We were talking about the lack of control, or wanting to get
people being addicted to giving up control,
or more to the point, not basically asking the same question until they get the answer they want.
Yes.
And I mentioned that I was talking about that with my chat today. What was I talking to my chat about? I was talking to my chat about the Warrens. That's
probably about you were talking about going to MagicCon versus TwitchCon.
There is that. And part of that was, in fact, that you never want the thing is when you're looking for a specific answer, you want to be given that, for the lack of a better term, you want to be given a cookie for deciding the right thing. But then there are going to be times where you're going to be, you're going to be told, no, that's not the right thing for you to do. No, that's not the right thing for you to do. No, that's not the right thing for you to do. And to some extent, that actually happened with me last week. Last week when we were doing when I was doing my 4-card reading with you, I got the 6 of Swords. And the thing that was so significant about that is that I kept getting, this is like I want to say it was like the fifth, at least the 5th or 6th time within a month or within the past 2 months, that I've gotten Six of Swords. Now, it's a beautiful card. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful card to get, but I kept getting it over and over again. And I thought, I might need to start paying attention to this. And it's a very hard decision about whether I should go to TwitchCon or not. And even if my current situation changes dramatically, from a professional perspective, even if it changes dramatically, is TwitchCon worth me going to? And the fact that the Six of Swords kept coming up, and for those of you who may or may not know, the Six of Swords is all about letting go. It's about letting go of something that, it was important to you early on, but now you need to move on to the next step. And right now, not letting go of whatever it was that was important to you once, not letting that go is holding you back. And I have been struggling with this for at least 2 months. And then for some reason, when it popped up last week, it was like a light went off in my head. And I went, oh, that's exactly what this is talking about. It's terrifying to make choices because nobody wants to screw up. Let's be honest. That's just human nature. Nobody wants to screw up.
And there are some choices that you can't take back and you can't change once they're made.
It's terrifying. And that's why so many people lock up when it comes to making choices, whether they are big or small choices. And and if you really want to see another version of this, Sans Tarot, and I can't remember if I told you about this episode, Spence, but go back to the original Twilight Zone. Okay? I'd have to look it up because I don't remember the name of the episode, but it was one of the early episodes of the Twilight Zone because it stars a very young, baby-faced Bill Shatner, or William Shatner at that time. Oh my God!
I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah. He comes into a cafe with his girlfriend, and they sit down in the booth, and the booth has this quirky little fortune teller thing with a little devil bobblehead on it. And Shatner, as a joke, puts in the thing. It gives him his fortune. And then it happens right there and then. So then he goes and does it again. And then he does it again. And all these things are coming true. And it's really freaking him out. And I'm not going to spoil it, but look up the episode. Because one, it's classic Zone. I mean, it's classic TZ. You can't go wrong with it. Secondly, it really every time I work something with the tarot, that episode is always in the back of my head, because in the end, you control your own fate, and that's a pretty intense responsibility. But
so with that statement, you control your own fate. The card before Justice is the Wheel of Fortune, and that's really the message of the Wheel of Fortune, is that you control your own fate.
Not can I buy a vowel?
Can I just say how masterfully I kind of brought it back to the reading? I'm very proud of myself right now, okay?
You get a gold star for that. You do. You get a gold star and an air horn.
Also, so you know how I was channeling just now, and I was like, I don't do channeling like our friend Jada does. Guess who messages me right after I say that?
No!
Yes! Like out of the blue, just hey, I was thinking of you and I need you to hear this song. And I was like, I was just talking about you.
And you know what? You can send back.
Here.
T says this. T
they're
says,
here.
I love that woman. I love that woman. I love that woman more than sharks love blood. You go ahead and you tell her that.
That's a lady. That's a lady. There they are. Hey,
oh,
Jada.
there she is. Hey, Kool-Aid. Oh, my
man.
God. Oh, my God. We love you. We love you, Ninja. We love you, Ninja. We miss you. We miss you. Oh, how are you? Well, then you're going to enjoy this.
And Mind Killers, hello.
How you doing, Mind Killer? Jada, you're going to love this. We are getting ready to jump in, and I'm about to do my, it's not on my not to go list. It is, that is on my to-do list, is getting back to Colorado. I really enjoyed Colorado. And I'm sure there's some.
I need to go as well.
There are plenty of places we can get spooktacular with, but you're gonna enjoy this. I'm about to do my 4-card read with my teacher here. So here we go. So I'm doing what's called the 4-card read, everybody. And
Would you like me to explain it while you draw cards?
you go right ahead.
Alrighty. So the first card in the 4-card reading is the situation the cards want to talk about, because for some reason when I do tarot, they never talk about what I want to talk about. The second card is any obstacles that are in the way. The third card is any advice or opportunities to keep an eye out for. And the final card is potential outcomes. So that's how I do a lot of my readings, because it kind of covers everything. There are different formats that you can do 8 days to Sunday, but this is the one that's easiest, especially for people who are just learning.
Hi. Okay, so, and the other thing that I've learned too, chat, is it doesn't matter how you turn the cards over, you just have to be consistent about it. And the way, you're going to see the way that I deal the cards and draw the cards, I'm trying to stay as true to the shuffle as possible. And what that means is that I don't flip the cards over like you sometimes see in movies and such. I do it on the, I do it on the horizontal, because I'm like, I've shuffled these cards, you know, and I've cut them and flipped them and done everything I need. I don't want to do anything that changes something at the last minute. So this is my way. This is the way of Twitch Dad. So there you go. So we're starting with the first card, which is the situation at hand. And we get the 2 of Pentacles reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
2 of Pentacles reversed. And as I said before, I will read just the reversed definition of the 2 of Pentacles. But 2 of Pentacles upright means multiple options, time management, adaptability. Reversed, ambivalence and procrastination, and overcommitted. I mean, that's my life in a nutshell, but we'll sidestep that for a moment. A shadowy figure juggles 2 clocks, embodying the balance and adaptability required to manage multiple responsibilities. Reverse, the clocks slip from your grasp, signaling overwhelm or instability. The reverse 2 of Pentacles suggests that you may be struggling to keep everything in balance, urging you to prioritize and simplify your tasks to regain control. That's interesting, because I would argue, yeah, we just launched we've just launched season 5 of Old Spirits. I'm balancing that with a lot of other things. Some things are slipping through the cracks, but I'm dealing with it. At least that's how I'm feeling. Spence, you know,
the Crow Tarot says reversed, the 2 of Pentacles is a signal that you are at risk of having or have already lost focus. And the result could be a loss of financial security.
Yikes.
Make sure that you are up to date on all your bills and other obligations before you drop another ball.
That's fair.
Hit balls.
Balls. Okay.
Right? T's deck is so pretty.
Thank you, Mind Killer. Thank you. Again, it is it's a little frightening to me, and I'm sure we're going to have an entire episode of this podcast about the when a deck starts speaking to you, or how you know when you found, quote unquote, the right deck, versus ones that you buy for decorative purposes or what have you. I bought this just from the look of it. Okay, that was the entire reason I bought it. I loved the art style. I loved the theme of it. I was all over it. But then when it arrived, I said, I just felt the urge to actually learn how to do this. And then the deck started getting real with me, and both Val and Spence here have said, man, that deck's got a lot to say to you. And I'm like, yeah, and it's a little intimidating, but you know, I'm rolling with it. Okay, so it's a mood. It's a mood, as my kid would say. Okay, so we've got the situation. Now we have the obstacles in the way, which are the 7 of Swords. Whenever Spence reacts like that, I go, okay, what am I about to read here? 7 of Swords.
The alignment is
too
perfect.
Yikes.
But anyway.
Okay, 7 of Swords. Upright means betrayal, trickery, or scheming. Yeah, but I do that for fun. What are you talking about? Okay. A shadowy
I'm just
figure.
gonna point to this card.
A shadowy figure clutches at Alice's neck. This is the second time I've gotten this week. I got this earlier this week. I remember this. A shadowy figure clutches at Alice's neck, symbolizing deception, betrayal, and the hidden aspects of conflict. The Seven of Swords represents cunning, strategy, and the need to be vigilant. This card warns of deceit, whether from others or within yourself, and encourages you to be mindful of hidden agendas and unspoken truths. I want to say this second. I want to say if I didn't get this yesterday, I got it last week. I'm really sure because I remember reading this. Okay.
So the Seven of Swords, the cunning trickster crow is trying to fly away with a stash of shiny swords before the other crows can get them, but there are too many for him to carry. Nevertheless, he is pleased with what he can take. The Seven of Swords denotes a person who is attempting to deceive you or is trying to get away with something unethical. If you are hoping to be able to trick or take advantage of a person, the Seven of Swords serves as a warning that your plans will fall through or you risk getting caught.
Okay. All right, so those are the obstacles.
That's while I'm starting to see a pattern, I'm going to tell myself what I tell T all the time, which is, let's see what the bigger pattern is.
Yep, I understand. Oh, hey, I can tell you, you know what? I got this card. Wow. I got this card yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I just checked. This is why I'm keeping a photo log, everybody, of and that's why I'm so upset that I can't find my previous ones from when I got the star, because I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of the cards that I'm getting and what it is that I'm experiencing. And yesterday's read was in fact the Seven of Swords upright. So there you are. Okay. All right. So those are the obstacles. This is advice. This is the advice that it's giving. The Page of Cups reversed.
Interesting. Okay.
So let's see. The Page of Cups reversed. So far, all minor arcana. Just so you know, I'm doing that to say that to impress my teacher. Okay, so this is reversed.
Do you want a cookie?
Okay.
I have no cookies,
You
know.
You have no cookies, and yet I must have ice cream.
I have no cookies. Somebody fix that.
Somebody fix that. Upright, we have intuitive messages, curious dreamer, sensitivity. Reversed means emotional immaturity. Giggity. Boobs. Creative blocks. Boobs. Creative blocks and doubting intuition. I'm doubting the integrity of this podcast. Here we go. Alice, holding a teacup with wide-eyed curiosity, embodies the Page of Cups, representing the start of an emotional journey or creative endeavor. Reversed, immaturity, emotional blockages, or missed opportunities due to a lack of seriousness. The reversed Page of Cups suggests the need to approach situations with greater maturity or to reconnect with your emotional self.
Mm. Although upright, this card celebrates the inner child. Reversed, you or someone you know may be lacking in maturity when confronted by a problem. An unwelcome situation may be the result of substance abuse or low emotional intelligence. You may also have unrealistic expectations that prevent you from finishing a project. And I feel like that last line is very poignant. Like, that's the line that sticks out to me.
Yeah. See, unlike last week, when I was really on track. I'm like, I think I know where this is going. This reminds me of a reading we had a couple weeks ago where I'm like, I have no idea where we're going with this, or even how it applies to things. But I'm paying attention. I mean, that's the way I'm looking at this. I'm paying attention. Now I'm going to be really interested in what you're seeing here, and what your interpretation of it is, because I am open for interpretations so far in this hand, because I'm not seeing the thread. I'm not seeing where this connects with me. And it feels, I gotta say, it feels weird to say that because I don't consider myself a vain person. And Pip has said one of my character faults is I sometimes put others before myself too often. But I have to remember that most of the time, if not all of the time, the readings are going to be focused on me and my personal development, my personal growth, and different things like that. I have to kind of remind myself it's okay to be a little vain when it comes to the cards. But there we go. Okay. So now we get to the final one, which is the potential outcome. And that potential outcome is, and I think I know what this is pertaining to, the Two of Cups, upright.
All right.
Now, let me see if I can get another gold star from my teacher here. The Two of Cups deals with relationships, correct? And
it can, yes.
Okay, and it's about it's about the success. When it comes in upright, it's about celebrating the success or enjoying the success of either a personal, financial, professional, or even a just friend to friend relationship, and really celebrating that. Correct?
So because this is a cups card, it definitely has more of an emotional connotation. So maybe not so much the professional portion of it. But definitely it could be friends, it could be lovers, it could be new connections. So let's go ahead and read the cards.
Okay.
But you have gotten this card a lot, so you are and normally we attribute this to your relationship with Pip.
Right. So upright, and just to check to see if I got it right, upright, it means perfect partnership, unity, or trust. The Two of Cups intertwine with a heart-shaped steam cloud rising between them, symbolizing the union of souls in perfect harmony. I see what you mean now about it being less about professional relationships. The Two of Cups represents the deep connection between individuals, whether in a romantic partnership, a close friendship, or a meaningful collaboration. This card speaks of mutual respect, shared emotions, and the balance that comes from true understanding. Okay.
And then for the crows of the Two of Cups share the energy of water traveling between two cups and a divided heart. Between them is a caduceus, symbolizing negotiation and partnership. The Two of Cups may represent a new romantic relationship. It may also foretell of a robust and confident business relationship. Together, the pair is balanced and equally satisfied and share a unified vision. Similar to the lovers, the Two of Cups denotes karmic connection, although it does not necessarily mean a romantic one. So this book says that there is some business potential in there, but it is some kind of partnership that's deeper than surface level.
Right.
So
this isn't pertaining to acquaintances. These are pertaining to friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Friends and up. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or people who could potentially become good friends.
Right.
And so the reason you saw me zone out there was I was picking up a pattern, and I want to see if you pick up a pattern as you look at this full reading.
Okay, so Page of Pentacles, then Seven of Swords, and then the Page of Cups, and then the Two of Cups. Okay, so the first card was about, that was the Two of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles reversed. And let's see, Two of Pentacles, ambivalence, procrastination, overcommitted. So the challenge is overcommitment or just losing focus, which I'll admit I've been struggling with for the past for the past week, I would say. Then the Seven of Swords, which I got yesterday as my daily read. It's my daily read. And this one is basically saying, just be wary of people being deceitful. So I could see someone saying, okay, T's T is stretched too thin, and I can take advantage of that. That's the obstacle. The advice is to, for lack of better words, nut up. It's basically saying, yeah, you can be goofy T, but you need to put your big boy pants on and keep a wide view of things. You've got to nut up and act a little more mature. And then this last
Yeah.
one is the potential outcome is your relationship's only going to get stronger. The relationship or relationships in your life, um,
Mm-hmm.
be they well, according to my deck, it's about being personal. I know that in this deck, the lovers are they are symbolized by Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and
Mm-hmm.
they basically say that card, that major arcana card, the lovers, is about relationships. Period. Financial,
Mm-hmm.
professional, personal, etc. This one is specific about people.
Right. So one of the things that I'm picking up on is a
Okay.
whole bunch of twos. So from 11 being reduced down to 2, and you have the uh two plates of the scales. Then you have the 2 of pentacles, you have the 2 of cups, and then traditionally with this 7 of swords, there are always um two at least 2 swords that are left behind. So to me, the number 2 is sticking out. So
Well,
I went to go and look up.
in this case,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, in the case of my deck, the two is symbolized by Alice and a shadowy figure behind Alice holding her
Mm-hmm.
by the throat.
Yeah.
Bit darker, but yeah, I see what
Um,
I see. I now see the symbolization of two. So what are you
right.
picking up of this? Because I'm open to ideas.
So so there's a couple of things that you can take away from twos. Twos can represent a balancing act of opposite forces. It can represent a partnership. Um, it can represent harmony, but usually it is two people coming together either in conflict or in collaboration. Um, and where you have justice reversed and the 2 of pentacles reversed, this to me is a coming at it from a place of disharmony, um where it seems like both people are coming at it from a place of I know best, no, I know best, and they're kind of butting heads. um in the advice with the page of cups um being reversed, this tells me that either this tells me that the conflict is being taken too seriously, and some levity um might break the tension, but it could also be fuel for the fire
Right.
of this potential discord. However, once you can reach some common ground um beyond whatever conflict this is, because it's not that serious, is what I'm seeing is from these 3 cards. It's not that serious. If these
It's
were
not that
major arcana
right.
cards, I'd be like, yeah, it's serious, but it's not that serious.
So
So
it's
once
like a trivial thing. It's not like a
yeah,
it's not like a I mean it's not life or death, but it's also not breaking the bank. It's also not screwing up my
right.
relationship with Pip. It's just it's a tiny little thing that I gotta keep an eye
It's a
on.
tiny little thing that you need to keep an eye on and make sure that uh, even if you think a white lie might be needed in that moment, don't do it,
Right.
because this 7 of swords is saying don't do it. Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
a liar.
Yeah.
Um, and as long as you treat the conflict with the respect that it deserves, you can get to this place of the 2 of cups where you're back on the same page, and you have ideas and a relationship that's working in tandem instead of against each other.
Hmm.
And like my chat is seeing my hands do a whole bunch of different shapes as I'm describing this, because that's how I understand that like I interpret things a lot with motion,
Yeah.
and with vibrations. So yeah.
Okay. On that note, with that very strategic break of silence, I got ads starting in a few seconds, so we can stop. We can pause here, take a quick little break, and then get back into
Let's
it.
talk to my chat for a minute.
Yeah, let's talk to your chat for a sec. Let's talk to your chat.
Hi, chat.
Hello,
How y'all
chat.
doing? Hi,
I hope everybody's I hope everybody's enjoying this. I obviously can't see what you're doing, but I can hear it in your voice. Okay. Oh,
because Mind Killer's over in my chat.
Right,
so.
right. Over on my, just if you're curious, Mind Killer, over on my stream, which right now is in ads. If you're not a sub, or if you don't have Twitch Turbo, I have both Spence up and I have me up, and then I've got a third camera that is actually looking at the cards. So you got that going for me. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that, Spence.
Nope, that didn't work though.
What?
For some reason, my shout outs are including the @
Oh, okay. Well, there's also
I'll have to figure that out.
There's also backslash. Oh, okay. I
know, but I can fix it.
Okay.
I fixed it.
All right. I trust you. For those of you over on YouTube, you're not seeing ads at all, so don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah, that's just another way of supporting the stream. Yeah, it always makes me nervous when I don't feel like whenever I don't get the reading straight off the bat. I'm like, oh, do I owe my cards an apology? I mean, you guys aren't talking to me. What's going on? And
sometimes you get gibberish.
Well,
sometimes it's really hard to see the pattern.
I'm gonna actually hold you to that.
If there is no pattern, then all you can do is just kind of like go, it was an off day.
So I'm gonna actually hold you to that because that's one of the. Oh, that's the thing. So, what would you like to talk about? The two things that I wrote down, and then there's a third thing, but I want to wait that until later. But the two things I wrote down were the difference between an oracle deck and a tarot deck. Or the question I was going to ask is, are sword cards more of a warning? Because it feels like every time I've done a sword reading, or anytime I've had a reading and a sword card has been involved, there's always a warning involved. It is consistently, you've got some conflict coming up. So I wanted to know, which one did you feel like talking about today, the sword one or the difference between oracles and tarot?
Well, I did bring one of my oracle decks.
Then let's talk about that.
But I don't have any tangents, and I did kind of want to talk about using alternate decks or alternate tools in a reading. So actually, with that,
we're
me
back.
Just a second. I'm going to go grab one thing.
Okay.
But why don't you introduce your question?
Sure thing.
And I will be right back. I just have to go grab something from my bin.
So while Spence is going to grab things from the bin, hi everybody. Again, my name is T. You can call me T Monster or Twitch Dad. I am here with the lovely Spence, one of my mods the most, who is teaching me the ways of tarot. And the plan is that we're going to take some of the old Outrageous Fortunes that we did, and we're going to re-release these as a podcast. And it's going to be basically how to tarot responsibly. And this is the portion of the podcast where we go off on a tangent. And when we say tangent, it just means like a deep dive discussion into something. Whether it is something that happened last week, something that happened this week, we're taking notes, we're making choices here, and we've already done with our readings. So now we get to and there's a reason why I'm asking Spence about this, because so recently, my buddy, the one of my best friends, the gentleman that I started Old Spirits with, Phil Rossi. Phil recently got a tarot deck gift from his wife, Tina. And the deck that Phil got, I was fascinated with. It's called
it's a sci-fi poster one, right?
Sci-Fi Tarot. I think that's what it's called, Sci-Fi Tarot. And it's basically all of the cards of the tarot are done in that pulp science fiction 1950s, 1960s, even borderline 1970s style. not as salacious as the works of Boris Vallejo, which was everywhere in the 70s and 80s when it came to sci-fi. But I'm talking like early 70s, 60s, and 50s kind of sci-fi. People wearing bodysuits and bubble helmets and ray guns and all that stuff. And I tried doing a reading from it. And two things happened. One, I don't think the deck particularly, even though I had Phil's permission to play with his deck, giggity. Even though I had permission to play with it, double giggity. I did the shuffle. I flipped cards around to make sure during the shuffle that the cards are going to be overturned, and I went on ahead and I read it. Or I did a 4-card read. Now the cards came out and they looked very cool, but then when I read the book had no definition whatsoever, none of what the cards would be reversed. And I thought that was a bit sus. So when I mentioned it to Spence, they said, well, then we need to talk about Oracle decks.
Yeah, because some decks, some people who make decks don't believe in a reverse meaning. And Oracle decks don't have reverse meanings. So there's that. And so the posters, I can definitely see how the person who put that together wouldn't feel right with a reverse meaning to it. And then Oracle decks, like I said, generally don't have reverse meanings to them. And they can be used as companion tools for the tarot deck. I actually have I have a couple of companion tools that I bring with me for instances where I don't get the reading. And so I'm happy to share that information with you. And with our podcast listeners.
And I guess what I was where I was going with this is okay, mm-hmm. Is there a dramatic difference between the two? Because I would always think, even if somebody who's putting together a tarot deck with a specific theme, I'm like, yeah, but there should be, at least in my, and maybe this might be my undiagnosed OCD kicking in, but it's like with technology. There needs to be a sense of consistency, and I am assuming that in tarot decks, there's always got to be that reversed, and there's always got to be that other side of the card, if you will. Otherwise, it's not really a tarot deck. Now, I mean, I'm not trying to be a gatekeeper while I'm learning this, but I'm trying to understand, well, where do I draw the line? I mean, should I use a tarot deck for this, or should I refer to this as an oracle deck instead? I'm learning the rules. I guess that's what it is. And if the rule is, well, there are no rules, some decks are going to have reversed, and some decks aren't.
Who's going to come and get you? The tarot police?
No, I don't. Look. All I say is that whenever I said to someone in tarot, "Oh, yeah, I remember this from Live and Let Die," people go, "Ugh," and to be fair, it's the same thing about the town of Lynchburg. If you go, so what's the influence of I'm going to come out and say it to address the gorilla in the room. So what is the significance of Liberty University? I mean, I kid you not. The person at the museum for the city of Lynchburg literally rolled their eyes so hard my kid heard it all the way at George Mason. I'm just saying. And I feel like it's the same way. I don't want to say anything to make me look like, oh, he's one of those kind that, I don't know. I'm trying to learn the not just how to tarot, but I'm also trying to learn, I guess, the culture around the tarot deck. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And like everybody interprets their tarot in a way that makes sense to them. And so for the person who made the sci-fi poster tarot, they created their guidebook in a way that made sense to them. Okay. It will not always resonate with every single person. And if that doesn't resonate, then hey, that deck isn't for you.
Right.
The reverse meanings are an opposite of what the card's initial intention is.
And they're not always
And
bad.
that intention and the intention was written by humans.
Right.
Okay? So you're not it's not law. It's they're more like guidelines. If we are to pull from Captain Jack Sparrow. No, cat, I did not call you. My cat's name is Sparrow.
That was
one of them is named
that's
Sparrow.
actually sorry, point of order. That line was actually not Mr. Sparrow. It was actually not Captain Sparrow. It was actually Captain Barbosa.
Oh, that's right. That was Barbosa.
They're more like
You're right. You're right.
What is that? What is that actor's name?
He got me.
What is that actor's
His name.
Oh my God.
He
was also in the
Bill
King's
Nighy.
Speech. No, it wasn't Bill Nighy. Nope, wasn't Bill Nighy, but he shows up later.
I know.
It's
Oh no, wait.
Jeffrey Rush.
All right, that's
Jeffrey Rush. Jeffrey Rush.
Yes,
Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush.
Oh my God, he was so
he was
delightful in the
terrible.
King's Speech. He was so delightful in the King's Speech. I love me some Jeffrey Rush.
Nothing like it. Proper British men saying the F-bomb several times.
Yeah.
In a row.
Also Jeffrey Rush in Shakespeare in Love. He always makes me smile.
Oh, yeah.
I love me some
That
Jeffrey
was
Rush.
fun.
I love me some Jeffrey Rush. Anyway.
Okay.
Welcome
so
to our
let's
tangents,
talk
everybody. Okay.
So let's talk about complementary tools. So
Okay.
let's say that we had this reading together
Mhm.
and we really couldn't figure out what was going on. I have one of my Oracle decks here, which is the Spirit Allies deck.
Okay.
The one that I bring with me to shows. So on my stream, you see I have my box, which has my old Crow Tarot deck, which is the one that I bring with me everywhere. And I have a Oracle deck called Work Your Light Oracle. These cards are no joke and call out people consistently because the meaning is very clear, written succinctly on. Thank you. I can't talk.
That's okay.
Apparently.
I got you.
But it's written in a very quick but poignant phrase on the front of the cards. Now, the ones that I've pulled out and shuffled today are my Spirit Allies because you never know what is going to resonate with somebody. This deck has crystals, herbs, creatures, zodiacs, and deities in it for as a guide. So if we were confused on like who's the liar in this situation, I could either turn over an oracle card or another tarot card to see if I can get some clarification. And so then I would read whatever the dragon is, because that's what we've turned over is the dragon card.
So while
I opened the book right to the dragon page. How cool is that?
So this is my little interpretation of that nudge from the universe, what just happened with you. I have an oracle deck in the other room. Why don't I go get it and try to apply it to this reading for a little clarification?
All right, sounds good.
All right. So entertain chat. I'll be right back.
Let me entertain you. So let's see here. So if we were to go from this, the dragon is somebody who probably looks at things as everything. It has a solution.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay. So in response,
you can't hear me yet.
What?
You didn't have your so I'm looking at your stream on a delay.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't tell when you had your headphones on.
So, chat. After the discussion of who's going to come and get you, the tarot police. And I want to make sure this is also hashtag not a sponsored stream, hashtag wish it was a sponsored stream. The Oracle deck.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great? The Oracle deck that I'm about to pull from, ironically, is also made by Erethereal. This is the Obsidian Veil. And Mind Killer, I want to just say, you better brace yourself because the same people that put together the Wonderland deck also put this out. This is an oracle deck. It's shadow oracles, and these are powerful women of history and mythology. And I bought this specifically for Pip. So I'm about to actually, we have only shuffled through this deck. Well, we didn't even shuffle through this deck. We just looked at the deck. And I'm going to make the bold assumption that there is not necessarily, I don't have to do any reversed things here. There are no reverse cards in Oracle decks or something like that. I just go on ahead and I just deal them as is. Okay. And yeah.
I'm going to have to stop shuffling soon because my wrists are hurting again.
Okay. Well then. But yeah, I bought this for Pip. And it was, and because I happened to see it on the shop app, thought it was really cool. Pip has been curious about doing, Oracle cards and things like that. And I thought, oh, this would be kind of cool to get. Honestly, at the time, I thought it was a tarot deck. And then I found out it was an Oracle deck. And I think, well, maybe Pip won't care. And then when Pip got it, she was like, I don't care. This is gorgeous. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually used it. So here we go. So I'm going to do another quick little shuffle, and then we're going to actually apply the Obsidian Veil to this.
And if you all have Oracle decks that you like, go ahead and put them in the chat.
Yeah.
Or if you're listening to this podcast, let us know what they are in the comments.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. All right, so here comes the Oracle deck, and my question is, do I do the same thing, consistently deal the deck? Do I put the deck on top of the cards? Is there anything specific I have to do? Or do I just pull it and just pull it and put it down?
So to taste is so season to taste is the guidance I'm giving you there. So it's really where you're feeling confusion. Sometimes I will give my my client an opportunity to say, okay, what card are you asking about? And they'll point to a card, and then I'll turn over a card for that when I'm doing longer sessions that are in person. So that's an option. Or you could just be like, okay, we were really confused on this. So intuitively, I'm just going to turn it over to that. Sometimes you turn it over and you're like, oh, this makes sense with this.
Okay,
this.
so with this whole reading, I kind of was a little murky. So I'm just going to go on ahead. I'm going to turn one of these over and just see what happens. So I'm turning it over.
This is the only tangent that we can go on because we are way over.
Yeah. Oh wow. And this is Chang-E, or change. In letting go, we can soar amongst the stars. And that's, oh, I'm sorry. I got an awful glare on that. Let me just see. That's what it looks like, everybody. So now you see, and this is the cover of it. So that's what Obsidian Veil. Let's see what it says about it. Invoking the Oracle, Joan of Arc, Persephone, Hecate, Eve, Medusa, the Fates. Let's see if I can find her. This is really interesting. Anybody's curious? Yes, the Virgin Mary's in here. So is Lilith. I mean, these are Red Riding Hood is in here.
over there. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there you go. Morgana is in here.
Actually, I think I have most of those in this Spirit Allies deck too.
But this is these are famous women of history and of lore from all around the world, because the one I have is definitely of the Asian region of the world. I just got to find her. Well, she's got to be in here because, yeah, there's a Kitsune in here. Yes, I hear you. I hear you. I said Kitsune.
No!
I said Kitsune, and Vi was like, fine, I'll come up here and deal with it myself. Yes, I hear you, Vi. I hear you. All right, there's the she-wolf, but that's not helping. Vi, unless you know where she is in this book, you are not helping in any way, shape, or form. I want you to know that. Oh, Elizabeth the First is in here. Just throwing that. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Chang E or Change, Celestial Reflection. And I should go ahead and just read all this. Wow. Okay.
Sure.
Here we go. Bye. My word, bud. Oh, and I got a pair of queens in here. Evie's in here like,
Daddy, you do not devote a hoop joke. I think you need to start giving out some treats instead.
okay. Treats in a minute. Treats in a minute. Okay. And Evie takes a seat. Okay, here we go. Chang Yi was once a beloved woman who lived on Earth with her husband Hao Yi. I apologize to anyone of Chinese descent that I'm butchering this, but bear with me. Hu Yi shot down 9 sons. He was rewarded with an elixir of immortality. Chang Yi, fearing its misuse, consumed the elixir and ascended to the moon, where she would reside in eternity. In her lunar abode, Chang Yi became the moon goddess, where she marvels at humans on Earth, longing with hope that one day she would be reunited with her one true love. Chang Yi represents the pursuit of transcendence and the price one may pay for it. She has become a symbol of unattainable desires and the longing for reunion, encouraging us to reflect on our attachments, expectations, and the price, and the price we are willing to pay for our ambitions. This card indicates a need to reflect on the sacrifices you have made or may need to make in your life. Connect with the passions that reside within your heart and soul. Embrace your desires as valid and important aspects of your being. Allow them to guide you toward fulfillment and purpose. She is the moon goddess after all, so tap into your feelings and find harmony between pursuing your dreams and accepting what is. Wow. Wow. Well, okay then.
So I would, in that instance, if I were to read that off to somebody, I'd be like, okay, so now you know your life better than I do. So what does this resonate with the rest of the cards in the reading for you? It is intense.
Yeah, it is. And the way that I look at it, the way that I'm looking at it and the way that I'm reading it now, and maybe I'm thinking about it too basically or too literal with the definition of the card, but it almost feels like it's saying, be careful what you wish for. I'm not going to lie about it, chat. I'm trying very hard to make Old Spirit something. I'm trying very hard to make the content that I make, particularly with Magic Gathering, something more than what it is. And I just want to make sure that I don't leave Pip behind in the process. Now, when it comes to Old Spirits, Pip's part of that. And I've made it very, very clear to Pip and to Tina that they are very much, Phil and I are the founders of OSI, but they're part of it. I never want Pip to not think she is not part of it. But as far as sacrifices, I like to think that I'm always open with Pip when it comes to, when I make choices, when I take chances. I'm not doing it without checking with her first. And that includes the possibility of going to MagicCon. I would never, even if they said, oh yeah, you got to come to MagicCon, which I do have some people saying. My thoughts are, I want to have Pip's blessing on it first. I don't want to do this without her. Does that make sense?
And that's a great partnership right there, because you're communicating your desire and you're making sure that it's not going to it's not going to conflict with anything going on. And it's also making sure that the door is always open for communication for when there's something that she wants to do.
Right.
So I feel like that's absolutely a great way to have a partnership. You're not asking for permission, but you're like, hey,
But I'm making
um,
sure that she's included. I mean, that's the thing.
yes,
I mean, I know there would be some ill educated folks from the manosphere that would say it sounds dangerously like you're asking your wife for permission to do the thing. It's like, no, I want her to be included in the decision process
yep,
because that's why it's called a partnership, Dillweed. Only if you're part of the
it,
manosphere would I say Dillweed. But yeah, yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Um, so yeah, healthy communication, and it's also a matter of, making sure that while you're excited for this event, that you're not overlooking
Thank you, Mind Killer.
something that needs attention.
Right,
Um,
right.
as
Whew.
excitement is wont to do.
Man, that Obsidian Veil came out of the box swinging. Jeez. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew.
Um, the other thing that I have, like if people aren't vibing with the Oracle deck, is I've been shuffling um my my tarot deck for the conventions because they were very sticky. It was very humid
Mm.
um in the expo center, so I'm just like, oh, I can shuffle those real quick. But so whenever I have questions and people are like, does this refer to X or Y, I could take out one of my pendulums. And so the way that you use a pendulum is you kind of put your elbow on the table, you have the pendulum touching the ground, and when you're setting up your pendulum, you kind of get get used to it and go, okay, show me a yes response, and it should start swinging one way or the other. So right
Right.
now I'm getting a yes response for forward and back. I touch it to the ground. Okay, show me a no response. I pick it back up, and if it's appropriately attuned, it'll give me a no response, which it's doing right now, which is giving me a left to right. Now you see that my hand is shaky a little bit. That's because I
Yeah.
haven't eaten yet today.
Mm.
So, but I'm not intentionally going back and forth left and right. And I'm balancing my elbow on the table, so I'm not. I'm giving it as much stability as I'm able.
So these are all, and
Um,
these are all different things that we can add to a tarot deck. An
yeah,
Obsidian Veil,
yeah,
I'm sorry, not an Obsidian Veil,
and
an Oracle deck, a pendulum, that sort of thing.
right, something that's going to help you get some clarity. Pendulums are great for yes and no answers. So if you're confused, is like, does this apply to me or to someone else? Then you can
Oh, I
do, does it
see.
apply to me?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Does it apply to so and so and so and so? And then you can get some yes and no answers there. Very similar to like using the candle, or the REM pot. The What's the triangular one that has the blue light and the red
Oh,
light?
that's the Flux 2, or as we call it,
Yeah.
Simon. Simon, or if
Yeah.
you're using the Halloween version, Chuck.
Yeah. So when you're using Simon and you can do the yes no answers,
Mm-hmm.
pendulum work can work like that too. Same with dowsing rods and stuff like that.
So in closing, so because one, I want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
you get something to eat, and two, I'm sure there are plenty of people in your chat who want to get their readings, and I want to make sure that they're going to get said readings. When it comes
Mm-hmm.
to using a tarot deck at a paranormal investigation, I've been
Mm-hmm.
curious. I've been wanting to try this now that you and I have been doing this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how could I use a tarot deck at a paranormal investigation?
I feel like if you were doing a quiet session, like a vigil, and just shuffling during the vigil, and then afterwards, once you've attuned with the space, and allowed yourself to settle in it, as you start asking questions, you can flip it over similar to the Infinity deck. So you've been shuffling the whole time, so you can
Right.
say, uh, how are you feeling? And you can turn over a card. Also, most of these cards have yes or no um, correspondences with
That's
them.
true.
There's a few that are maybes, um, but you can also use it that way. You could also, instead of flipping over cards. You could spread them out and then do the method of what feels right to answer that question. I would say having an experienced reader for that would be helpful. That way you're not like shuffling trying to read the book while you're in the middle of an investigation.
Then you'll be coming with us to the Ohio State Reformatory in 2027.
I mean, wasn't that already the plan?
I think it was, now that I think about it.
I have a cat sitter and everything ready.
Oh, let's freaking
because it's
go.
gonna be both me and Val. We're going.
There we are. Well, then on that note, I think we should wrap up this episode of Outrageous Fortunes. Thank you so much, Spence, for taking time to teach me the ways of tarot and to understand there's not some tarot police going, he's not doing it right. We need to do something. And, then they crash in like a holy Chuck Norris coming in and taking care of business. Thank you again so much for this. Again, if anybody's curious about the decks that I'm using, both Wonderland, Shadow Tarot, and Obsidian Veil. They're put out by a group called Erethereal. You can find them on the shop app. You can also look up Erethereal, and they should appear when you need them. Thank you again.
Oh, sorry. And I was going to shout out my deck, which is the Crow Tarot by M.J. Cullinane, found in most places where you can buy tarot cards.
And on that note, thanks everybody for joining us. Until next time, I'm T, that's Spence, and may the cards ever be in your favor.
Ooh, I like that.
I just kind of pulled that out of my butt. There we go.
All right.